See if this actually works. Okay, let's check my phone. Actually, I guess I could just go like this. Instead of checking my phone, I could just hit Facebook real quick and make sure we're actually live streaming the way we should be. Yes, we are. Excellent.
I think I'm sharing mine as well.
Why doesn't it give me the option to share on my Facebook for it? Okay. There you go. There you go. Invite a couple people real quick. There we go. Okay, so we're live. Obviously, we're like a minute in now, but I'd like to welcome everybody to the Abyss Army podcast from across Facebook and freaking YouTube through my own Facebook and B adAtNight's Facebook, and also the Abyss Army Entertainment Facebook, along with the Abyss Army Entertainment YouTube. So this is the first time we're multi-streaming to numerous pages, which is awesome as hell. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode / show. We're going to get into it, give people a couple seconds to get in here, and then we will get this shit started. How was your day today, brother?
It wasn't horrible, bro. I took the day off work. Kind of just a recoup day, honestly, for me. Sort of just kind of getting back into my vibes, so we did some recording and stuff, so it was all right. It wasn't bad.
Oh yeah.
What about you, bro?
My day wasn't too bad, other than getting called into an office for a meeting today. But other than that, my day was pretty decent. Yeah, freaking things have been going well with label and stuff, which is great. Yeah, so we've got 3 viewers already, so we might as well get into her a little bit. So first, tell everybody on the stream a little bit about yourself.
Well, I go by adAtNight or Saddy, whichever you're feeling that day, I've been making music basically my whole life, but I just started getting into rap and hip hop kind of culture more or less about 2019. It was right when COVID hit. I was in Calgary and they locked us down, bro. You remember that? That was insane. And so that's when I really started my music grind. And basically that's what it was for the first like 3, almost 4 years, was music grind. It was definitely just an output, for feelings at that point. Kind of to stay out of trouble, more or less, I guess. Another thing as well, it just was a change in my life from doing shit that would probably end me up in trouble to doing something that was like, it felt healthy at the time, you know what I mean? It was just such a different thing. And yeah, so I mean, I've definitely been on my music grind for a few years now, and I guess this would be around the time when it kind of became something else for me personally. I met you guys, and everything's been changing, so it's pretty exciting stuff. It's definitely exciting to be getting on these lives and stuff and kind of getting ourselves out there a little bit at this point.
Oh yeah, sure. Most definitely. So you just recently joined not only Abyss Army Entertainment last month, but just recently today, you also joined Occult 93. Do you have any plans as to future drops on either or both labels?
Well, I was originally planning to drop basically an EP and a few singles in between now and August 1st, kind of just as my own thing, just as fillers.
Yeah.
There's an Abyss Army album drop planned for August 1st. That's when I'll be dropping an album under Abyss Army. And there's definitely plans. And I was thinking about this when I was driving home, because I checked my messages and I got them all. And I was like, wow, And so basically, like the first thing went to my head is like, well, I guess another album has to come up in there somewhere. So I'm gonna say between now and August 31st, there'll be an album drop with Abyss, and then there'll be an album drop with Occult as well. So I'm gonna really put my grind in on those two albums for sure. I think I have enough content for the most part to probably healthily drop. If I didn't make a bunch of stuff and drop it like every other week, then I definitely have enough to drop a song every couple weeks until then at the very least. So content wise, I'm good that way. But yeah, no, I definitely want to drop an album under each name basically as soon as I can. But I also want to give myself enough time that they're not rushed, they're quality. I'd like to take the time to get features from each side. So like I would want to have, mainly features from Abyss on my Abyss Army drop, and then Occult on the Occult drop. So that's kind of my plan with that. I'd say probably summertime would be when I do both of those. I might even push the album for Abyss to be July, and then move the Occult date to August 1st, just to kind of keep it like where I'd want to keep it in terms of like timeline. And yeah, that's kind of my plan with that, I guess. Now I sort of just added in another album on top of what I already had planned, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that'd be sick.
What did that mean? Oh, there we go. That was weird. I had to go in through both Facebook and through freaking StreamYard for a second there.
Oh yeah, it's sort of glitching a little bit.
Because I was trying to see if there's any comments on Facebook, and it just kind of messed up. But yeah, so as some people already know, there is a release and a group that we are in called Soulless Yndicate. And our first release is set to drop. What day was that?
Actually, our drop is set for April 6th, so the day of our show, we're dropping on all plats together underneath the Soulless. So that's exciting. It's kind of I didn't even really think about it at the time. I remember I pressed the date, and I know that the distro was saying, "Oh, you're pushing it close to your release date," and I was like, "Oh, I just wanted it out." I was like, "Get it out," and it ended up dropping on the 6th, so the day of our show, our next show. That's when that song will be dropping all platforms everywhere. So that'll be sick.
Yeah, well, I'm actually really excited for that drop.
And that's an aggressive one too. It's a solid track, dude. Like that's a good track that we're putting out as well. I think didn't we plan for I think the 14th being the next one after that? I'm pretty sure was like the official date.
Given that, I actually got my verse recorded this weekend and, stopped slacking. But yeah, the release for the next one was planned for April 14th 14th or 16th.
I think it was the 14th. I can't remember though.
Yeah. But we also have that coming up. So the whole reason for this podcast, and the reason it's called From the Abyss Podcast, is we like to get to know the artists and a little bit of what they've been through to get to where they are, a little bit more into, I wouldn't say their personal life, but, their personal reasons for being where they are and doing what they're doing. Like myself, I know I've been through a lot, and it's a fairly interesting story. So I want to share other people's stories and, get people interested in more than just the music, but a little bit about the artists themselves.
100%.
Because I feel that a lot of the time, the person behind the music is often overlooked for the music itself. So
definitely, bro. I agree. Oh, my stuff started glitching there for a second too. I just got to stop touching stuff here and going on Facebook.
Right? That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I'll just check the comments after.
Yeah.
But, no, I definitely agree. I think a lot of, especially underground artists like ourselves, are definitely overlooked sort of as a whole in general. For the most part, a lot of underground artists are overlooked as a whole. And then not only that, like, especially being like more on like the sad boy vibes of music for the
Yeah.
first little bit for me. It was different because you only really kind of reach a certain kind of audience at that point. You know what I mean? You're kind of only
Yeah.
hitting like a certain crowd, whereas like lots of people also hear music differently. So there's some crowds that like they listen and they hear like that bumpy, clubby kind of upbeat beat of the song, and that's kind of like, you know, what they get. But then there's the other people that really take the time to listen to what you're saying, right, and perceive your message. So I think it's really important too that the artists kind of make an effort as well, though, to sort of personalize the experience for their fans and actually do what we're doing right now and kind of like open up themselves a little bit. It's uncomfortable sometimes. I have social anxiety, so getting on podcasts and interviews and like stages and stuff is really, really, really scary at first, and you're not really too sure because you have that anxiety that's like almost like telling your brain subconsciously that you're like gonna get laughed at or something almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just so scared to like put your, you know, I know for me, like my music is like heavily based on my emotions or like feelings or thoughts and things like that. So it's scary because you feel like you're putting pieces of yourself out in front of groups of people that you don't know. And like
100%.
that's very different experience, but it's very like wholesome though to do it and to have people react to it in a positive way. You know what I mean? It really changed my outlook on a lot of things. Personally, musically, it just, yeah, it opened up a whole other door of like what's out there for this for me, because it's not so much an output of pain anymore. It's more like a motivational speaking almost. You know what I mean? Like it's, you
Yeah.
know, trying to like really, really, really hype people up and help them believe in themselves and also have a good time doing it. Like music is really enjoyable now for me. And obviously in the last little bit, I've gotten close with you guys. I've joined Abyss and now a cult. Shout out to Cult 93. Hi mom. I'm gonna say hi mom real quick. She told me I had to say it. So hi mom. Yeah, so it's just the group of people that I'm with now as well has really, really impacted my life in a positive way. Almost more than the music. The music is like almost like a really nice, really good icing on top of a good cake for me.
Right.
You know, I'm really blurry here.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that, and I'm trying to figure out why, but according to my Facebook, we're on private or something, so I'm trying to figure out why.
Let me see here.
Because, yeah, it's not making sure. Okay, hold on, I know what I'll do then. Since apparently my Facebook is being dumb and not allowing people to watch, I'll just link the YouTube because screw Facebook. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's even right on my main YouTube page. What? What? Go back. Ah, you're stupid. I said this one. Let's see. Okay. Go like that. There we go. There we go. Go like that. Okay. So anyhow, beyond the technical difficulties of my damn freaking Facebook. Whoa. Device is not connected. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we'll give adAtNight a minute to get back into the stream here. I do believe it should still be good. His okay. Okay, it is still the same. Okay. That's not good. Okay, well, adAtNight apparently is having technical difficulties, so like I said, we will give him a minute to get back here. So for the time being, I am just gonna go like this and go to YouTube and play a song here. Give me 1 sec. And as soon as he comes back, we will get this restarted. But for now, let's just go like this. Hopefully, we are. Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. Okay.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I had to
There.
had to refresh the whole page. So that's what was going on. I don't know. So if it happens again, I'll do that. But I guess that was like, I don't know. It just stopped, bro. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
weird.
it's all good because, freaking technical difficulties are expected, especially on, the first stream of streaming on multiple platforms, using new stuff that we haven't necessarily used before.
Yeah, there we go. We're good now. All right, I can see the chat now. Yeah, shout out to Cult 93. What's up, General? Hands in here. What's up, bro?
Okay. So, obviously, we all come from somewhere. Where did you come from? Where were you, like, born, raised, however you want to put it?
Well, I was born in Red Deer, but I definitely didn't grow up here. It's not considered home either. It's just, that's basically it. It's just where I was born. It's I grew up in a small town. I grew up at Caroline, actually, for the most part of my life, and kind of central Alberta area. But I've lived on and off in Calgary since 2018. So I'm definitely like a central Alberta boy for sure. Just been around this area my whole life. And honestly, man, like to be completely fair, there's not really a whole lot of really drastically important stuff that affect my music that's happened in my early life for the most part. It's just kind of whatever. But it was the stuff that started happening as I moved out when I was younger at 15. That was definitely like the stuff that was really pivotal for my transformation, I guess, into being sad at night, if you want to put it that way. My struggle in life was definitely my own. You know what I mean? I decided to basically, get into addictions heavily. And that was a major thing for me. Both being in active addiction and also being like sober. I've been almost sober since 2019. I've been sober, early 2019. So that being said, that's been a very like impacting thing on my life, 100%. It's probably been the most impacting thing actually. And it wasn't so much even the addictions, that was the lifestyle that came with them or to do with them, right? It's kind of like the best I could put it into perspective is how I feel joining up with a cult and with Abyss. It's like I finally found family and a belonging, and I feel important in these environments with these people. And so that's how I felt back then with the drug scene and with addictions and with the people and with all that stuff that came along. I found like I found a belonging, a purpose, and it was completely the opposite. I mean, that sounds really cliche, but somebody that doesn't go through that in their life doesn't really understand how like not cliche it is. You know what I mean? It's just a real thing, man. And so that being said, that was definitely a huge thing for me. it also wasn't really like somewhere I belonged either. You know what I mean? And I knew that. Like I definitely wasn't. I'm not a violent person. Um, I'm not mean. I'm not aggressive. I'm not any of those types of things. And I almost had to like go against my own self to become able to survive in those environments. Um, and I guess that would be probably what fuels most of my like I guess trappier vibes in my music and the aggressive stuff. You know, the really heavy hitting kind of like tracks sort of come from that being like something that I've bred into my own existence. Basically, you know, I've kind of forced myself to become that. And so now a lot of that stuff is like just basically letting that out in a healthy way. You know what I mean? I look at songs and music and everything the same amount of energy that I used to look at that stuff, but I just did Lit's music instead. So instead of like flipping bags, you're flipping tracks. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? So it's just a completely different thing, bro. I think the audio's weird, I think. I don't think I can hear you, bro. You know, you got no audio.
That's why. Duh. Fuck. Here, I muted myself so I wasn't interrupting you in the middle of you talking. And totally forgot I had myself muted.
But yeah, so that's like a huge part of my life, and it's not even something that like I mean, a lot of people obviously they could ask me, and I'll tell them whatever. I'm very open book when it comes to things, but I don't meet people and be like, hey, you want to hear about like, you know, the time I went to jail, or the time I was on drugs, or like any of that. You know, I don't really openly sort of like come up out with that stuff right away. It's sort of like a thing that like, you know, people most of the time they get to know me and then I tell them my story and they're like okay, wow, they're like, because they know who I am as a person, and then they can kind of look at it different. But it's also not something that I hide, and it's definitely something that's really impacted my music as well. It's another reason why I kind of went down to the sad boy route, if you want to call it that, is because for me at the time, it was instead of basically sticking on like the listening to the Migos and Kevin Gates and wanting to be a trapper vibe, I got into this mindset where I was like listening to Peep and Juice and those sad vibe kind of people, and like I was listening to people that were more like me as a kid. You know what I mean? And so it was like more basically like healing my inner child with that music at that point. And so I just stuck with it. I was like, you know what? I would much rather be sad at night than mad at night, because you know what? At least if you're sad, people can comfort you in different ways, and you know you can be closer to people in a sad way than I can if I'm sleeping out all the time, right? And so it was just like
100%.
It was just like a total like manifestation of like wanting to be back to myself in a sense, and fighting through this like ugliness that I like kind of, you know, got into sort of thing and became. And I say when that 4 years or whatever it was, 3-4 years that I was making music and it was a grind, it was for myself 100%. And I did have people with me in that venture, but a lot of it was definitely like a journey to heal by myself and kind of like output all that sadness in a way. But like now, it's like that one song, Faded in the Foreign. That's like a song that used to like hurt me so bad to sing and listen to, and the emotions that were involved in making that song were just like horrible, dude. And now when I hear it, it's like one of the prettiest songs that I think I have. And it's just like I said on the other interview, is that's like a tattoo, bro. You know, you go in and you're getting the tattoo and it fucking hurts bad, right?
Yeah.
It's just, but then you walk out of there and you have this pretty fucking beautiful piece of art, right? And so like that's like the best I can explain my musical process, is like sometimes it's real ugly, and it's just like, it's like being able to like voice those like times that you were the most depressed in your life ever, and then having a record of it after almost.
Yeah.
And it was really different, bro. It was like, it was such a different kind of vibe, I guess, for me. But it was a very good healing journey as well. And it's crazy because like now I've met all of you guys, and I'm a part of things that are really giving my life and my music a lot of meaning. And I think that that's like crazy, because the amount of times that I was like, you know, I'm just going to give up and just delete my SoundCloud. You know what I mean? The amount of times I was actually dead serious about just like not ever touching a mic again. And like, I think at one point I didn't touch it for 8 months, bro. Like 8 months is a long time when you know, for the amount of music that a person can put out quality wise in 2 weeks, a week, a month, you know, for me to just like basically stop for 8 months altogether and be like, yo, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I don't even want to touch it no more. And it wasn't even people saying, oh, your stuff's garbage, you know, it was nothing like that. There was never any kind of really negativity directed towards me. There was a lot of support, but it was like an inner battle for the most part. And I think that's really amazing now that, like, you know, although I think back to all those times I didn't give up, it's like, if I did though, bro, there wouldn't be none of this. Like, it wouldn't be here talking to you right now about this. And like, I wouldn't have any of the things going on that I have. And I think that's just crazy. Like, there's just something in me that's like, yo, keep going. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what it was. I still don't. I don't have an explanation for you. That just really sort of reinforces that whole manifestation concept for me. You know what I mean? And just like, sort of like, kind of like believing in myself even when I didn't believe in myself. And now I have people believing in me, and like teams of people that like I believe in too. It's crazy. Like, I believe in all of you guys so much too. And I think that that's just like, it's such a positive outcome for so much negative in my life. You know what I mean? And I think that's really crazy. And that's another message that I really want to push to spread too, because, you know, you'll hear a lot of like rappers or singers or musicians, and they say all the time in interviews, like, don't give up on your dreams, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, really sounds generic, but it's actually a really straight up, that is exactly what I have to say. You know, just don't give up, man. Because like, you know, you'll just keep pushing. Eventually you'll see that light at the end of the tunnel, and then you'll get to it. And then, you know, like, I'm in disbelief half the time now about like everything. And it's wholesome, bro. It's really good. It really like changes your perspective on a lot of things, you know, especially being the person that like has gone through a lot of crazy shit or violence, or, you know, especially addictions. Because now, dude, like, I can't even explain to you like how I feel when I get off these, or when I sing, or like when I hear people cheering at my songs, bro. Like, that's something completely like better than drugs. And I never thought that I would ever be feeling and feel, you know? So that's crazy to think about.
It's like being recognized on the street, like not thinking, you know, anything of it, then somebody recognizing you on the street and being like, oh, hey, I like your music. It's like, whoa, wait, what? Like, you know, it's kind of just that surreal feeling,
right? Like, having that, it's like a sense of recognition almost, you know? Like, yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's different for sure, especially when like you know, like, definitely, like, that was definitely like a dream, or like something that like was obviously, you know, low-key humbly wanted. I mean, who doesn't sing a song and want people to hear it and then be like, recognize them? Like, that's a crazy thing. But for it to actually like be a thing for people that you look at musically like they're fucking up here on a pedestal, for them to like put you beside them, and for them to like make sure you know that you're right there beside them, is just, it's a crazy feeling, dude. Because it just like, you know, like being so humble about stuff too. It's different because, you know, I never, like, I hear other people, I'm like, damn, that person's really good, but then those same people are like, damn, you're really good. And it's just like, it's just a very healthy thing artistically and like emotionally for me personally, you know. And it's like, I'm gonna chase that for sure.
So we've got we/you, Abyss Army Entertainment, myself, have some shows coming up. Tell the people when they could catch you live next.
Well, we got a show coming up on April 6th. That's our Hop into Easter show.
Hop into Easter.
Hopping into Easter, we are hip hopping our way in there. And that's at Burns, yeah?
Yeah.
Man, so we got at Burns in Calgary on the 6th. That's going to be a banger.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Burns. Shout out to Nambert Manor. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing people. Yeah, we have a lot of good support down there, and that's amazing. So shout out to all of them, of course. So April 6th, and then what do we have? Are we doing the yeah, we're doing the 420, yeah?
I'm not sure how many of us are going to be involved for the 420, but there's definitely going to be at least 3 of us, if not 4 of us, on the 420 show. I do believe. If I
know that I know that I definitely was like told to come, so I know for sure if you're catching all of us, then all of us will be at the 6th and the 4th of May. 100%.
Who knows? Who knows though? You might just catch a surprise fucking Soulless Syndicate track at 420.
Never know. Surprises. That's all part of the magic of Soulless Syndicate. Is we're doing one thing with this hand to keep you distracted while we do a whole other thing with this one. You know, wow.
Sleight of hand, my dude. Sleight of hand.
Yeah, gotta keep it spicy, bro.
100%. Gotta keep them guessing too. Can't always tell them your moves because people get ideas.
Right? That's the thing. So we got the show on the 6th coming for sure. Possibly a few of us on the 421, and that one's at Vern's too.
Yep.
And then on May the 4th we have one as well, and those are official.
Actually, I could tell you in a second who all's on the 420 show because I have the poster right motherfucking here. Oh, it went blurry. So from Abyss Army Entertainment, we have myself, Cray, and Kid Kill It.
Word.
So we have like about half of our regular Abyss Army crew on that show.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was talking to
speaking of Cray and Kid Kill It, they actually commented in the last few minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Oh, word. Hey, what's up,
but yeah, man? So other than obviously, you know, your solo projects, and obviously, you know, we're gonna have some Soulless Syndicate coming out. Yeah. You got any other plans for this year besides obviously, you know, steadily releasing music and, you know, what are your other goals and ambitions for this year?
Well, on top of that, which is enough to by far fill my plate, but I want more. I definitely want more. I've had an entree and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the main course. Let's go. Definitely perfecting my craft. Basically, I just want to get like, it's not that I think that my quality is not good or anything like that. It's just that I know I could make it. I can continue to grow as an artist myself, personally, sound-wise. And that includes basically, you know, upping my equipment game. You know what I mean? I want to get better equipment for the team and for myself in terms of home recording, whatever that may be. Setting up better, kind of doing things a little bit more professional for the most part. Basically for 4 years straight on and off, basically for the most part, every song I've put out is recorded on an iPhone and headphones, bro, which is absolutely mind-boggling to some people, but to me, it's just all I had. It's all I had to work with on a budget. So I'm stepping that up, got mics, got everything, got, you know, we got a computer, got all that stuff. So stepping that up 100%. I think another ambition would definitely be to get into like some more of the creative sides of things in terms of like, you know, I've been doing my visualizers and my art and all that kind of stuff. And so that's definitely something I'm really, really working on hard to getting into that kind of sort of digital creating kind of side of things a lot more heavily, mixing, mastering as well. Because I have a lot of people that come to me for mixing and mastering, whereas like I go to other people for mine. Right. So it's like, I want to get really like good at doing that for the people that I do it for. I think that's important because, you know, I just want to be able to like put on for everybody else. Right.
100%.
I definitely want to focus really heavily on merchandise as well. So having our stuff be branded heavily and like being able to really push that and, if you know, put money into it and make sure that like when we pull up to a show, we got sweaters, shirts, hats, phone cases, all of it, bro. A whole table of shit. boom, here, like I want to be able to have like stock, you know what I mean? So like that's something I'm really pushing right now. I have some wicked people helping design behind the scenes. I have some really, really wicked artists that are vibing and helping, and they really support our movements as well. Um, and another thing too is a lot of them are people that are close to me in my life, so I'm able to offer kind of like a side venture to some of my people that are artistic as well, and we're almost collabing in that way. Instead of like collabing on a song, I got them coming in and helping me with like art or like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So it's kind of everybody sort of like a piece of the pie in my opinion, which I think is, for me, it's important because I'm a very team player, so I like want everybody to kind of be able to like have that sort of artistic expression. And I know music and like people that draw or whatever can definitely go hand in hand together with that, and sort of, you know, make a lot of cool stuff. You know, we need album covers, we need whatever, shirt designs, all that kind of shit. So it just gives everybody kind of a vibe into that. And yeah, so those are my main things right now. In terms of like what I really want to, sort of longer term goals, I guess. Because like the short term ones are putting out the albums under Abyss and then under Occult. I'm just gonna announce those now. So let's go with July 1st. I'll put a full all platform album out under Abyss Entertainment. And then August 1st, I'm gonna put an album out under Occult 93. And yeah, that's gonna be big, man. And I'm planning on dropping every track that's gonna be on both albums will be provided by Spot. Shout out to him for the beats, 100%. Gonna keep it in the family. I just think
he's also both Abyss Army Entertainment and Occult 93.
So shout out to him for them beats. They're sick. I love them. They're perfectly right up my alley, what I need. And I've already got a few like features that are going that will definitely be a part of that. Like I said, I'm gonna have the Abyss Army drop be strictly Abyss Army, and the Occult drop be just Occult members, just to sort of as a homage to both sides, you know, because I'm 100%. It's not like I'd be like that forever. I think just with the albums, I really want to like push out a good, solid quality album for each group, just as like a thank you back for being a part of it almost, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's another thing I'm going to do as well, is really, really, really push to get our names out there. I'm not 100%. I mean, like it's 100% going to be that for me. So yeah, I'm really motivated. It's going to be full send, bro, full send. And every other day, you know, I slip in and out of my depression. You know, I struggle with mental health stuff. Also working a 9 to 5 is crazy on top of all of this. Like sometimes we get off FaceTimes and it's 10 or 11 at night and we haven't even showered or eaten yet from work, bro. You know what I mean?
100%.
Go. And I love it, but at the same time, it's also very tiring. I know that there's like times when like we go hard for, you know, a couple weeks straight, and at the end of it, we burn out, and you really start to feel it, like it catches up to you a little bit, you know? And so I think that I just really want to like keep pushing on the path that I'm going, because even when I slip into those bad mental health days, it'll be like a day or two I'll be not feeling it, and then boom, like today, for example, like I just went for a drive to get a vape, and I turned my phone back, like my data back on, and read my phone. I was like, wow, I was just feeling 100% re-inspired again. It's just like there's just always something or somebody there to like help pull you back up out of that, you know? And yeah, so I'm basically really motivated to do all of that. And for me, having those types of goals in my head all the time can sometimes be all I need to just push through a work day, even as simple as that, you know, just to keep going. I'm like, well, if I don't do this, then, you know, in my mind, everything falls apart. So it just keeps me going, bro. It's healthy. It's good. It's wicked, dude. But yeah, definitely the merch, and definitely my engineering, as well as my actual like art. And I also want to put on a better stage presence. So that's something I need to work on too. But the only way I can do that is by doing shows, and we got those coming. So
Another way to practice that is also study other performers' performances and how they move and how they perform on stage. I know
100.
that's something that nobody ever really told me, but I found out on my own and kind of learned from is just watching other performers perform and just kind of their movement and how they interact and stuff like that. It does, bump shit up a little bit.
100%, bro. And that's a thing too, is like I know it's scary. It's really, really scary. But it's not scary in a way that like makes me freeze up and not be able to perform properly. I can still definitely sing. It's
Yeah.
just like that whole, like, I don't want to be just like looking down every time though. Like I definitely think that like my stuff would change a lot if I was just like, interacting with the crowd. And I have been watching you guys as well, and like, you know, something that I had to kind of push through my own brain was that like every single person in those buildings or on these lives is here to support us and like and fucks with us and like loves us, right? So at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't go upstairs and be scared to sing in front of my mom or like, you know what I mean, anybody. So like, like it doesn't matter. So if it's just, you got to get almost through my head that like not no, people aren't going to buy concert tickets to come see you perform just to laugh at you. They're not going to waste their time doing that, right? So in my head, it's just like I got to break through that kind of vibe, and that's been a huge thing for me too, especially with just this like social anxiety that's almost like it's not even really rational. It's almost just like something that I've like kind of taught myself to be like, almost, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not really scared to be social. I don't really hate being around people or anything like that. It's just that for some reason, with just the environments and just growing up and like the traumas and all that kind of stuff, it's just sort of like pushed me into like believing that I have to be like that for some reason, right? And so it's just, yeah, it's something I also want to work on too, is a stage presence, which I think will be an interesting thing to kind of grow into as well, especially having none, having like a stare at the ground and maybe like look over at you every couple of minutes awkwardly kind of thing. And it's going to change. And it's going to change and it's going to be nifty, because I think that I could really put on a good show if I gave it that my energy that I have singing. I think if I had that energy physically as well, I think it would really change the game out there.
Okay, sorry, freaking had to open up Facebook again because for some reason it won't let me reply to my Facebook comments on StreamYard. Shout out to Demic, thank you for tuning in. Just doing this podcast here. So what besides obviously, well, shit. What else? Sorry, I kind of got sidetracked here because the technical difficulties on this side, which I will have fixed before the next broadcast. Yeah. So we talked about Soulless Syndicate. We talked about the upcoming shows. We talked about the past. Where can they find your music, and where can they find just your pages in general, man?
Well, my music is on all platforms currently. Okay, I see the comments on here now. You can find my music on all platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, basically everywhere and anywhere. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Sounds, doesn't matter. Wherever there's music, you can find it there. It's out there. That's mostly my newer stuff. So basically I didn't drop to all platforms until about December.
Yeah.
And so the rest of my stuff would be on SoundCloud, but I am in the process right now currently, and I'm collabing with somebody to help me with that. I'm in the process of transferring all of that music on my SoundCloud over to YouTube with visualizers. So I'm basically going to be revamping it, maybe remastering all of the songs, and putting them on YouTube with visualizers, just to kind of pay my respects to those, because my SoundCloud's got a decent amount of views as well, and it's just been kind of sitting. And I feel like there's a lot of good music, good quality, like really good quality music that was sort of like my my bedroom tapes. Like it was just my like raw shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that stuff deserves to have a place as well, where I can kind of throw it in with the rotation of everything else. There's also like 40 songs or 50 songs on there, so it's like SoundCloud, as much as like lots of people they don't have SoundCloud or they don't use it so much anymore, but it's definitely somewhere else that's worth taking a peek if someone ever, you know, wants to really hear some of my main old stuff. So yeah, SoundCloud, Spotify would be my two mains that I personally use. Apple Music's up there, YouTube. Yeah, my pages, Sad at Night with a $sign for the S. That's important because if you put Sad at Night with no $sign for the S, I don't come up. But if you put the $sign in, Sad at Night, it comes up everywhere. So that would be where you find it. Facebook, Sad at Night, obviously.
Just typed it in the chat for the Abyss Army Facebook and the Abyss Army YouTube. I will type it in the JB Abyss comments after.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, so that's another thing too, is like I'm very active on my socials. Not so much Instagram, which is just Sad at Night 250. I'm more active on Facebook, and my page is on there obviously because I'm, you know, on the Abyss Army page, the Call 93 page. Soulless Yndicate is ran very, very personally by us, so like definitely 100% find me on there. And this my Facebook as well. So that's definitely the best, easiest ways to find my stuff, to get a hold, to book, whatever, basically.
And he's very personable, so you know, if you're like, hey, I like your music, he'll more than likely talk to you for a minute if you hit him up, and you know.
100%. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to not be like that. You know what I mean? Especially if I know if somebody's like, hey, I like your music, I'm gonna be like, bet, let's talk. Like, you know, I get exciting. You know, I want to be that artist that's like personal with my fans. Like, I don't want to be just like a guy that's like, you know, sings and then just walks off the stage and dips. Like, I want to be able to get to know the people that are really vibing with my stuff, because a lot of the times, like I said, if my music is really heavily, you know, sad vibes, then I mean, if somebody's feeling that stuff, then I know that they can relate to what I'm feeling. So I would definitely want to have like a conversation with them or something. You know what I mean?
100%. And not only that is, you know, we are independent artists. We do appreciate all the support we get from, you know, you guys, our fans and our peers, etc. So, you know, obviously, yeah, we like chopping it up with you guys.
Oh, definitely. What's up, Ty? Shout out to Ty out in the island. Good homie of mine. He's been a supporter for forever. Shout out to Vaughn, bro. What's up? I just seen all these comments here.
Yeah, read them out if you know, you got some that are cool or whatever, or that you want to read out. Fucking take the time to do it up.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yo, what's up, Craig, bro? He's a rapper out here. He just opened for Mercury's the other night. He's killing it out here too. Shout out to him. Always good guy, personable as well. I always see artists too that are, you know, they treat me with the same level of respect that we're treating, I guess, our fans or whoever. And I think that's super respectable for me to see as well. It's just because, you know, I always kind of had this like weird sort of like vision of like the music scene being so cutthroat and scary, and now I'm hearing everybody's just really super humble and nice, and that's a good thing. Well, the underground's really good.
Yeah, it depends too. Like you gotta be careful, like anything, right? But like if you fall in with the right people, you're all good. It's just you gotta be careful because like anything, there's always gonna be the ads along with the good, obviously, right? So
yeah, that's right.
But we also we were talking about shows, and I kind of cut you off before we finished. We actually have the May 4th show, which unfortunately for all you Star Wars fans out there is not the Force Be With You show. It is going to be called Rise of the Abyss Army. Since, you know, we're kind of rising up from nowhere, essentially. So that will be the name of the next show. The list of artists that will be on such show will be to follow soon. Um, Obviously, the majority of Abyss Army, if not all of Abyss Army that can make it, will be there, along with some other special guests because, fucking always gotta have them special guests. And yeah, freaking pretty stoked for that.
100%. I'm really stoked too. I like having those little surprises too, having the wild cards that we pull out and slap them down last minute, and everybody's like, "Ha!" You know what I mean? I like that stuff. It keeps us.
Oh, 100%. It keeps people on their toes.
Yeah, they never quite
including
know.
Us.
Oh yeah, I get mostly us. Honestly, yeah. It's like we're just as surprised as everyone else, and we have to act like we're not. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah,
it's
good
like, oh yeah, I had that planned.
You always got to keep people wondering what's going to come next, right? And I think that's
100%.
Especially with the amount of like versatile artists we have basically somebody doing something of everything. There's like Kid Killet's on his own, in his totally own lane, bro. Then we have
100%.
Totally like in his own lane, and then there's like, we all bring something crazy good to the table, and I think that that's also, like, me and Kid Killer had a conversation about that the other night. He's like, people like different, and I think that like the thing with like our lineup, bro, is like it doesn't matter like who you pull up there, we're always going to be giving something completely unique and personal to like each artist is completely their own artist, bro, and nobody's the same. And I think it's really interesting to collab as well, because there's tracks that I get sent and I'm like, what am I supposed to do on this? And it's just a completely out of comfort zone kind of vibe, but I think that that's really important, and it keeps things super fresh, but it gives our audience something really fresh too, because I've never seen this type of music and this type of group come out of Central Alberta, and so I think that's a vibe for sure. It also keeps it like coming out of home, you know what I mean? Like we're repping home right now, and I think that that's super cool too.
The thing that's cool also is like, with our lineup, usually we got a little bit for everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of hip hop you're into, or what kind of even if you're into a little bit of rock and metal, we got that covered with Kid Kill It. Then we've got horrorcore covered with myself and Sick Mick. Then we got drill and trap freaking covered with Hectic. We've got such like a badass lineup of just like a variety of different stuff.
For sure.
And it's actually like mind blowing that we're doing what we're doing.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, dude. It blows my mind almost on the daily. I'm like, wow. It's like I even say to my close people, I'm like, damn, I'm dreaming every day. Every day I'm dreaming, bro. It feels like I'm like, is this even real? Like, who are you guys? What is this? You know what I mean? But then I snap out of it. I'm like, no, right? And so I think that's how we feel. Then definitely the fans that we have as we sort of progress are going to be continuing to feel like that. And I think that that's important, because we're never going to just like be boring or like kind of just like sort of fade away. It's just always going to be something different. We're innovative. We have a younger generation of people. It's a very entrepreneurial time, and Calgary is a very entrepreneurial city. So like, that being said, it's kind of just like a perfect mixture of potions put together, right? And it'd be really cool to see where it all goes, bro, for sure.
And if any artists, I know myself and adAtNight both have artists on our friends list. If any artists local to Red Deer, Calgary area want to get involved on any of these shows, feel free to hit up either adAtNight or myself, and we'll put you through the right channels to get you involved.
100%.
Because we're always looking for more people to, join us on shows, mix it up a bit. So, the lineup doesn't really get stale. Obviously, we'll have the majority of Abyss Army Entertainment on there. Maybe switch it up every once in a while and throw a Soulless Yndicate setup in there just to, kind of throw people off a little bit.
Oh, and it will too, especially because like I know that the stuff that we're putting out through Soulless is like got its own kind of sort of like vibe. You know what I mean? That's kind of
Oh,
like our
100%.
little sub thing, and it's just got like such a little like vibe to it, and it's just like really like that's like where my like stuff goes now, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So it's just gonna really, it's gonna just keep things really fresh, especially if we throw those lineups in like randomly and just like, you know,
Yeah.
boom, you know, it's just always something different, bro. And I think that's the main point that, yeah, me and Kid Killer were talking about, and I think that's gonna be a game changer, bro. Always having something completely different, you know, surprising
And,
them.
and so with Solus, like you said, like so far everything we've worked on's been different. Like none of it's even been the same, really. Like
No,
go from No Reason to like freaking Bad Dudes with Attitudes too. Like totally
yeah,
different vibe tracks, 100%. Like
yeah, totally different genres almost. Like we just switched from like, you know, because one person will have an idea for a song that we all get on, and then the next person will have one. We're all different, so it just like
uh,
always sort of just like, yeah, it's mint, bro. It definitely keeps things different, which I think is important.
and so far each track has had a different producer too.
Yep, which is, yeah, and it's also cool because we're always kind of doing things in a way that's like supporting, everybody's getting supported in their craft, whereas like, you know what I mean, like I don't even have to like worry about the visualizers or none of that. Like I got like everybody's gonna benefit from our team as well that's in it, and I think that that's super cool too because it's like a family, but it's also a very productive one that like is
Oh,
also
very
doing
much so.
things, man, you know. And so yeah, it's all just becoming real, and I'm excited for it all. It's nifty.
Definitely. Me too, most definitely. But yeah, so we're coming pretty close to an hour here. I don't want to keep you too long because, as you said, freaking between video chats and stuff, we usually don't get to shower and eating until late. So I don't want to keep us too long. That and we don't want to linger on for too long. Need to keep some stuff to talk about on the next show because we definitely will be doing another one with our boy adAtNight. Give you guys an update in the future. Yeah, but I thank you all for tuning in. This is JB Abyss and our boy adAtNight from Abyss Army Entertainment. I hope you guys all enjoyed this live stream. Getting a little bit into adAtNight, he actually answered a lot of my questions without me even asking him, which was great. Shout out, obviously, to him. Shout out to Nanbert Manor for always having our backs.
Yeah,
They're our family. Much love to them. Much love, obviously, to you guys, the fans, Abyss Army. Um, Shout out to Abyss Army, Occult 93. Shout out to Verns for having us at all these deadly ass shows.
yeah.
And
Shout
yeah,
out to
hope
Brandon.
hope
Shout out to
everybody has.
yeah. I'm just gonna do a couple here if that's cool, bro. Just uh, shout out to Ty. Shout out to Harmony. She's in Hawaii. She's gonna help me with my SoundCloud stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um, she's been supported for a minute. She's good homies with another good homie. I make music. He's doing some big things down in Hawaii and LA right now. Shout out to Dira. Shout out to Brandon. Sydney, what's up? Shout out to you, homie. Shout out to Jaylee. I love you. Shout out to mom. And what's up, Harley, bro?
oh
Thanks for
yeah.
tuning in, guys. It means a lot. The support means everything. And seeing some of the people that were here from the start be here now it's crazy. It means the world. So shout out to all the peeps.
Oh yeah. Also, shout out to Rebel Joe and Reckless Radio XYZ. They're actually involved in our next show. The Hip Hop in the Easter, as we mentioned before, which is brought to you by Abyss Army Entertainment, Nambert Manor, of course, Occult 93, and Reckless Radio.xyz, which, if you haven't, go check that out. It's got a lot of my own music, along with a lot of Occult 93 and Abyss Army Entertainment's music. Soon enough, we will have a bunch of Soulless Syndicate, and I'm also getting adAtNight to send some of his music in there for play through Rebel Joe. Much love to him. He's also in the comments right now. Appreciate you taking the time out of your evening for tuning in, to tune in. Sorry, I've been up since like 4 o'clock this morning. So don't mind me. I'm a little bit, yeah. But yeah, much love, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream again. We will be back again in about another week with another episode of the From the Abyss podcast. I'm aiming at having Abyss Army Entertainment artists a week until we have all our artists on one. And then after that, I will work on the list that I started a couple months ago before I kind of got busy with other crap. Again, much love. Tell them who you be, brother.
What's that?
I said, tell them who you are, brother.
Much love from adAtNight, from Abyss Army, and from Occult 93. Let's go. Big things, big things.
Yeah, man. We're coming for that shit.
We're fucking coming for it.
Much love from myself, Abyss Army Entertainment, Occult 93, freaking Reckless Radio XYZ. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Not going to keep you guys on much longer. So have a good night, everybody.